She said, "You're paranoid." "No one's cheating on you," I smiled. "I hope you're right." Then I played the hotel security footage she forgot existed. Her mother's jaw dropped before she could speak. "My name is Liam Carter. I'm 38 years old, an architect living in Denver, Colorado. I've spent my whole life building things meant to last: homes, offices, skylines. I thought my marriage would be one of them. For 8 years, I believed that love, like a good structure, stood firm if the foundation was strong. But what I didn't realize was that my wife, Madison, had been quietly pulling bricks out from underneath us. We met in our late 20s, back when both of us were chasing big dreams. She was a hotel event planner, always on the move, always glowing under the soft lights of gala dinners and grand openings. She could talk anyone into anything, and she talked me into believing I was her forever. At first, everything felt balanced. I worked long nights at my drafting table. She traveled, planned weddings, hosted luxury clients. We met in the middle, weekends on the balcony with wine, jokes about who worked harder, promises that someday we'd slow down. But someday never came. Madison's job started changing her. New wardrobe, new perfume, business trips that used to be twice a month became weekly. When she was home, she was somewhere else. On her phone, texting with her team, smiling at messages I wasn't allowed to see. I told myself not to become one of those husbands, the insecure ones who snoop or accuse. She was my wife. I trusted her, until I couldn't. It started with the receipts. 2 dinners in the same hotel restaurant on consecutive nights. Room service charges that didn't add up with her schedule. And the scent of expensive cologne lingering on her scarf, something I didn't wear. When I asked, she laughed. "Oh, come on, Liam. You're paranoid. No one's cheating on you." She kissed my cheek, smiling like I was a child who had imagined monsters under the bed. I smiled back, but inside, something quiet turned cold. Because she was right about one thing. I was paranoid. But sometimes paranoia is just pattern recognition wearing a different name. I didn't yell, didn't demand answers. Instead, I started paying attention. Her favorite hotel downtown, the one she always said was just for work events, it had security cameras in every hallway. And as an architect who'd once designed part of their new lobby, I knew exactly who to call to request archived footage. I didn't tell her, not yet, because some truths need to be seen, not shouted. Now, the first sign came on a Thursday morning. Madison left early for what she called a full-day client retreat. But her client, according to the company's public event calendar, had canceled 3 days before. I knew because I checked. Not out of suspicion. At least that's what I told myself. I just needed to understand why the timelines never matched. By noon, she texted a photo of herself on site at the hotel ballroom. Hair perfect, champagne glass in hand. Except the carpet in that photo wasn't from the hotel, she claimed. I'd designed the one she was standing on. It was from the Starlight Grand, a place she swore she never worked with anymore. That night, she came home glowing, said the event went perfectly. I smiled, played along, kissed her goodnight. Then I went to my office and opened my laptop. Every lie has a pattern, and Madison's were starting to form one. Over the next 2 weeks, I watched it unfold like blueprints. The same hotel charges, always late Fridays. The same client dinners, always for 2. The same perfume, stronger each time she came home. She wasn't even careful anymore. Maybe she thought I was too trusting. Maybe she wanted to be caught. But the thing that truly confirmed it was the voicemail. It came by accident. She left her phone charging in the kitchen while she showered. I didn't touch it until it started buzzing nonstop. Unknown number. Over and over. Then a voicemail notification popped up. I didn't even mean to listen, but the message began playing automatically through the speaker. A man's voice, warm, familiar. He said, "Room 214 again tonight, babe." Same bottle of red? Silence, then laughter. Then the message ended. My hands shook. Not from anger, from realization. It wasn't paranoia anymore, it was proof. When she came out of the shower, towel-wrapped, humming like nothing had happened, I asked, "Rough day?" She smiled, oblivious. "Exhausting." "But worth it," I nodded, forcing a grin. I bet it was. That night, I slept next to her and stared at the ceiling again. The same ceiling I once imagined our future under. But now I knew I was lying next to a stranger. The next morning, I made a few phone calls. First to an old contact at the Starlight Grand, then to an old client who worked in private investigations. I didn't want revenge, not yet. I just wanted the truth. Clean, cold, undeniable truth. Because when someone lies that smoothly, you don't argue. You let them bury themselves with their own confidence. I didn't confront her right away. No shouting, no slam doors. That's what she'd expect from a paranoid husband. Instead, I built a plan. Step 1. Confirmation. My contact at the Starlight Grand, a security manager named Tom, owed me a favor. I'd once redesigned the hotel's lighting grid after a power surge disaster. Now, I just needed one thing in return. Liam, Tom said over the phone, lowering his voice. You're asking me to pull footage from a private guest floor. I'm not asking for names, I said. Just timestamps. Who went in and out of room 214 over the last month? He hesitated, then sighed. Give me a day. When he called back, his tone had changed. There's something you need to see. He sent over a flash drive. Footage from 3 separate Fridays, each clip the same. Madison walking into room 214 with a man in a gray suit, always holding the same bottle of red wine, always smiling like she'd just come home. My throat closed up. That's the moment you stop loving someone. When the evidence becomes undeniable. Not because you hate them, but because you realize the person you loved never really existed. Step 2. Timing. I didn't want a private argument. I wanted the truth to echo. Madison's parents had invited us for Sunday dinner. Her mother, Nancy, adored me. Her father, Harold, tolerated me. The steady architect with no flash. Madison loved performing for them, showing off our perfect marriage. Perfect timing. That Sunday, I copied the footage onto a USB drive, labeled it Home Renovation, Proposal D. She'd never suspect. When we arrived, Madison played the part beautifully, kissed my cheek, poured wine, bragged about her upcoming promotion. Her mother gushed. Her father nodded with approval. I smiled through all of it, because I knew what was about to happen would burn every illusion in that room to ash. Sweetheart, I said halfway through dinner, remember that hotel project I mentioned? She froze. The one with the security footage you wanted to see for design inspiration? Her eyes flickered. I don't recall. That's fine. We can all watch it together. I plugged the drive into the TV, the screen lit up. Her laughter filled the speakers first, soft, unmistakable. Then the hallway footage appeared. Room 214. Madison. The man in the gray suit, hand brushing hers as they entered. Her mother's hand shot to her mouth. Her father's fork clattered onto the plate, Madison's face drained of color. I told you, she stammered. You're paranoid. I turned to her, calm. I hope you're right. Then I pressed play on the next clip. Madison shot up from her chair so fast the wine glass toppled over. Red splashed across the white tablecloth like blood. Turn it off, she screamed. Her voice cracked, the first real sound of panic I'd ever heard from her. But I didn't move. Neither did her parents. The video kept rolling, her laughter, his hand on her lower back as they disappeared into room 214, the hotel hallway emptying behind them. The silence in that dining room was louder than any scream. Her father was the first to speak. Madison, what is this? She turned toward him, trembling but still trying to perform. Dad, it's not what it looks like. This is work. Work? I said quietly. 3 Fridays in a row, same man, same hotel room, same bottle of wine? She spun toward me. You had someone spy on me? No, I said. You did that yourself, when you kept going back to the same place that I helped design. Her mother gasped. Madison, tell me this isn't true. Madison's eyes darted between all of us. She tried to laugh, that nervous, high-pitched sound she used to diffuse clients. Everyone calm down. This is being blown out of proportion. Liam's just jealous? I echoed. Then why did the hotel bill go through your credit card last week? The one we both monitor? I tossed the printed receipt onto the table. Her mother stared at it. Her father looked at me like he couldn't decide whether to believe his daughter or his son-in-law. Madison snatched the paper, crumpling it in her hands. "You're humiliating me in front of my family." "No," I said. "You did that." "I'm just providing the audience," her voice broke. "Liam, please." "Let's talk about this privately." "Privately?" I repeated. "After months of lying publicly?" She lunged forward, trying to grab the USB from the TV, but her father stepped in front of her. "Enough!" he barked. "Sit down." For the first time, she looked small, like the facade had finally collapsed under its own weight. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "Madison, why?" "Liam has done everything for you," Madison's voice cracked. "I was lonely." "He's never home. He's always working, always somewhere else." I stood up slowly. "Building our future," I said, "but I guess you found yours in a hotel room." The screen behind her froze on a frame, her smiling at the man, hand brushing his chest. That image said everything her words couldn't. Her father turned away in disgust. Her mother whispered, "You've destroyed everything." Madison's lips quivered. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. That's when I picked up the remote, paused the video, and said quietly, "Don't worry. You won't have to explain it again." I walked out of that house while her parents stayed behind, and for once she was the one left performing for an audience that no longer believed a word she said. Warren. By the next morning, everything had exploded. Her parents called before sunrise. Her father's voice was gravel, half fury, half disbelief. "Liam. That man in the video," he said. "Was that Derek Wallace?" The name hit me like a brick. Derek Wallace, regional sales director for Haven Hotels, the same chain Madison's firm partnered with. Married, 2 kids. The kind of man who called everyone champ and thought loyalty was a marketing slogan. "Yes," I said. Her father exhaled, long and heavy. "He's on our country club board." So that's who she'd been risking everything for. A middle-aged hotel executive with a gold membership and a wandering hand. By noon, the story had spread through Madison's social circle like wildfire. Her mother's friends whispered. Her coworkers stopped answering her calls. Someone, maybe her assistant, leaked a photo of the paused video on the dining room TV. Her face frozen mid-smile, half turned toward the man she swore didn't exist. It didn't take long for Derek's wife to see it. At 3 p.m., she showed up at my office, a petite woman in a sharp navy suit holding a folder. "Mr. Carter," she said, "I think we should compare notes." Inside the folder were screenshots, receipts, and one email. Derek to Madison. It read, "Can't wait for next Friday. Same room, same time. Don't wear the ring this time." She looked me dead in the eye. "I've already sent copies to his company's HR and to my lawyer. I thought you should have one too." There was no satisfaction in her voice, just exhaustion. A woman who'd fought this battle before and already knew how it ended. That night, Madison came home. Her mascara streaked, her hands shaking. She didn't even try to hide the truth anymore. "You ruined my life," she shouted. "You ruined your own," I replied. She dropped to her knees, sobbing. "Please, Liam, don't leave me." "I'll fix it. I'll quit. I'll do anything." I watched her cry. The same woman who once called me paranoid. And all I felt was nothing. The trust, the love, the anger, gone. Just silence. That strange calm that follows a storm when you finally understand it's over. She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. "You built this, Madison. Brick by brick, lie by lie." She screamed again, pounding the floor, and as she fell apart, my phone buzzed. A message from Derek's wife. "He's been fired. Thought you'd want to know." Madison saw the notification, read the name, and let out a laugh. Broken, bitter, almost feral. "So he's done too, huh?" Guess we both lost everything. I looked at her, cold. "No," I said, "you lost your mask." "I just lost the illusion." By Monday morning, I had already called my lawyer. He was an old friend from college, calm, methodical, allergic to drama. Exactly what I needed. "File for divorce," I told him. "Grounds?" he asked. "Adultery," I said, "and breach of marital trust." I've got proof he didn't even hesitate. Send me everything. By noon, the paperwork was drafted. By 4 p.m., Madison was served, right at her office. Her coworkers watched from their glass cubicles as a courier walked up to her desk, handed her the envelope, and said politely, "Mrs. Carter, you've been served." I didn't have to be there to see it. One of her colleagues recorded the moment on her phone. The look on Madison's face, frozen between rage and disbelief, made its way to social media by evening. The same woman who once curated a flawless image of luxury and loyalty was now trending under the tag hashtag #HotelWife. That night, my lawyer called again. "Liam, she's trying to play victim. Says you emotionally neglected her, claims the footage violates her privacy." I laughed softly. Tell her she forfeited privacy the moment she brought her affair into a hotel I helped design. Meanwhile, her father, the man who'd once called me too boring for his daughter, showed up at my door. He looked like he'd aged 10 years in a week. "She's staying with us," he said quietly. "She has nowhere else." I didn't say anything. He reached into his jacket pocket and handed me a check. "She told me she drained the joint account." "I know you'll need this to get by. I didn't take it." "I don't need your money, sir," I said, "but I do appreciate the honesty. It's more than I can say for your daughter." He nodded, eyes glistening, then whispered, "I raised her wrong." The divorce hearing came 3 weeks later. Madison walked in dressed in black, trying to look fragile. But the judge wasn't buying it. My lawyer laid out the evidence: video footage, transaction history, and the testimony from Derek's wife. When the judge asked Madison if she wanted to contest, she just stared at the floor. The ruling was swift. I kept the house, the savings, full control of our joint assets. She left with her personal belongings and a ruined reputation. Outside the courthouse, she tried to speak to me one last time. "Liam, please. We can rebuild." I turned to her, calm and deliberate. "I spent 8 years building something real," I said. "You spent 3 months tearing it down." Then I walked away. Behind me, reporters shouted questions, cameras flashing, voices echoing, but all I could hear was silence. The peaceful kind that comes after a war you didn't start but finally finished. 6 months passed. The dust settled. At least, that's what I thought. The headlines had died down. Madison faded from local gossip circles. I went back to work quietly, poured my time into designing a new eco-resort project in Sedona. Life felt normal again. Peaceful, almost. Then one morning, my phone buzzed with a notification from a coworker. "Dude, is this your ex?" Attached was a link to a YouTube video titled, "My Marriage to a Narcissist, The Truth They Don't Want You to Know." The thumbnail was Madison, teary-eyed, makeup smeared, the classic victim look. I clicked play. She started soft, almost whispering. I was trapped in a loveless marriage with a man who controlled everything. My finances, my friends, my life. He made me feel like nothing. I felt my stomach tighten. She spoke for 30 minutes straight, painting me as a monster. She even pulled fake text screenshots. Messages she'd clearly edited, making it look like I'd threatened her. The video went viral overnight. Hundreds of sympathetic comments poured in. "You're so brave." "He sounds like a sociopath." "Justice for Madison." But the internet has a short attention span and an even shorter fuse for lies. By the end of day 2, a new video surfaced, posted by none other than Derek's ex-wife, Claire. Her caption was simple: "Funny how victims forget the cameras they didn't erase." The video played, time-stamped from the hotel's own CCTV archive. There was Madison, laughing, holding Derek's hand in the elevator. There was her keycard swipe. There were the hugs, the kisses, the very moments she'd sworn under oath had never happened. Comment sections exploded. "Wait, isn't that the same woman from the interview? Bro, she lied to everyone. Justice for Liam." By morning, Madison's YouTube channel was gone, deactivated. But the clips lived on, re-uploaded everywhere: TikTok, Reddit, even local news. When I came into the office that day, people actually clapped. My assistant whispered, "It's trending, hashtag caught in 4K. Later that week, I got an unexpected email from Madison's mother. "Liam, I don't expect forgiveness, but I wanted to say you were right. We watched the video. We're ashamed. She's not the daughter we raised. Please take care of yourself. No bitterness, no drama, just quiet truth. Something her family had never offered me before. That night, I sat in my backyard with a drink in hand. The Arizona sky was clear, the stars brutal in their honesty. I scrolled through my phone, found the last photo of us together, smiling, pretending. For the first time, I didn't feel anger, just relief. I deleted it. And for the first time in years, it didn't feel like losing something. It felt like making space for what's next. Behind me, the fire pit crackled, a soft, final punctuation mark to a chapter long overdue for its ending. A year passed. 12 quiet, steady months, no scandals, no rumors, no more lawyers. Just peace. Something I hadn't realized I'd been starving for. My career had taken off again. That eco-resort project in Sedona? It got featured in Architectural Digest. The irony wasn't lost on me. While Madison was busy burning bridges, I was building something lasting. I'd even started dating again, slowly, cautiously. Her name was Emily. She worked in community development, had this calm confidence that felt like gravity after years of chaos. When she laughed, it wasn't sharp or staged. It was grounding. And when she asked about my past, I told her the truth. All of it. She didn't flinch. But closure. True closure. That's something life delivers on its own schedule. It came on a random Tuesday. I was in downtown Phoenix for a meeting with a new investor. He was late, so I stopped by a small cafe on the corner. The kind of place where the walls are covered in art and the barista knows everyone by name. I ordered my usual black coffee, no sugar. When I turned around with my cup, I froze. At a table by the window sat Derek. The same Derek. The man Madison had destroyed everything for. Only this time, he didn't look like the smug businessman she'd fallen for. He looked tired, deflated. His shirt wrinkled, tie loose, eyes sunk deep into dark circles. And sitting across from him, Madison. Her hair shorter, face drawn, eyes hollow. No makeup, no confidence, no fire. Just fragments. They weren't arguing, they weren't talking. They were just sitting there in silence. Two people who had used up all their lives and had nothing left to say. I didn't feel anger or pity, just distance. Like I was watching a movie I'd already seen too many times. Derek looked up first. Our eyes met. Recognition hit him like a punch. Madison followed his gaze, and when she saw me, she froze. I didn't stop. Didn't glare. Didn't smile. Just walked past their table, calm as the air after a storm. But before I reached the door, I paused. Pulled out my wallet, dropped a 20 on the counter, and nodded toward their table. For them, I said to the barista. Coffee's on me. He smiled. That's kind of you. I shrugged. Let's just call it a full circle. As I stepped outside, the sunlight hit me square in the face. It was warm, unfiltered, like forgiveness, but not the kind you give to someone else. The kind you finally give yourself. That evening, I drove home to Emily. She was in the garden, planting something small and green. I leaned against the fence, watching her hum to herself. She looked up, smiled. You look like you saw a ghost. Something like that. Everything okay? Better than okay, I said. I think it's finally over. She wiped her hands, walked over, and kissed my cheek. Then stop looking backward, Liam. We've got things to grow. I laughed, really laughed, and helped her plant the next seed. Behind us, the sky burned gold. Ahead of us, something new began quietly. Not with shouting, not with revenge, but with peace. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's living a life they can't touch anymore.